The lizard unearthed a bottle with a long neck and a small spout. It sloshed, filled with an unidentifiable liquid. "What's your goal?" "I don't know. You need to pick one," he said, sounding less like a hopeless gambler and more like a commander, more like boss. "Right now. What are you trying to achieve, Al? Because let me tell you, fighting against those nobles to, 1, keep those girls alive, or 2, keep them from becoming monsters is going to be a challenge. You might end up dead. You remember how the military used to take street kids in and throw them at demons just so they could escape?" I nodded. Of course. I thought that was why the lions had taken me in, too. "It'll be like that, but worse," he said. I believed him. Everyone wants the throne, the crystals. They want the power that comes with it. It's all about power. And right now, there's only one obstacle to them getting their chance to seize it. I swallowed. Amber. The lizard nodded. "What's your decision, Al?" My voice scraped out as I asked, "How can I believe anything you say? Don't." The lizard shrugged with a wide grin. Then he proffered the bottle. "This is a bottle of cloudy memory draught. You've heard of it." My mind went back to that conversation from days ago. Right here, in the tunnels, Bellant and Liony had talked about this exact thing. I'd heard of it, yeah. "I'm not giving that to her," I said, not taking the bottle. "You just said not to trust you, so why should I take this?" Because I'm the only one you have," he repeated. "Listen, seriously, what's your goal in all this? I see those bandages on your neck. I know how close you were. I gave you the dagger, but you're still here, talking to me. Something's stopping you from walking away. What is it?" "I don't know." "What?" "I don't know." I seethed, turning away. I dropped the dagger in disgust. "I don't know what I'm doing." Somehow, my hands ended up in my hair, but it was different from when Rory used to do it. When I touched my head, I felt like I could implode, like the darkness on the peripherals of my vision would take over, and I had permission to just start screaming. How had he been able to touch me and make it all different? When he did it, I was soothed. I was cared for. I was calm, and I was alive. I wasn't anything anymore. How could I be of help to anyone? I couldn't help those girls. How could I? I cut myself off before I could repeat the same thing yet again. Each time those words left my mouth, they felt like a different message each time. But to an outsider, they were just the same words. They couldn't understand. Rory wasn't here. Nobody could understand what I meant. I don't know, as in, I don't know the first thing about nobles. I don't know, as in, I'm the wrong guy to look out for those girls. I don't know, as in, I don't know what to do. "I made a promise," I said at last. "I promised, and I'm here." The lizard spoke. He grabbed my shoulder. I hadn't even noticed him move. I was so out of it. He forced me to take the bottle, saying, "Don't ever take those glasses off, and you'll never be defenseless again." You are the last lion," he said, his fingers digging in, stray spit dotting my cheek. "Those girls will be eaten alive, if someone doesn't take the hits for them. Whatever's left of you, Al, you know what you have to do." The stars had yet to return, because the enemy was still alive. The 6-year war hadn't ended when Polny believed it had. Nothing had changed. In just over a week, the kingdom was put right back in the same spot as it had been before. The only difference? There were no more lions to hunt down and corner their prey. It was only at night, when I counted the stars glimmering on the farthest edge of the horizon, that I felt him. Am I doing the right thing? I asked those freckles, but I was too far away to hear the answer. If he could even answer. "She'll be more obedient if you never let her memories return," the lizard had harped at me. In the end, I'd taken the cloudy memory bottle with me. It sat on the nightstand of the room I shared with the girls. There was only one bed, but the palace maids had rolled out a futon to cushion my body on the hard ground. I had made it non-negotiable that I would be sleeping on that floor, that I would be the guard, the healer, the teacher. With these bloodied claws, these dulled fangs, I stood as their wall to protect against the wind, their blanket to soothe against the cold. I couldn't help the kernel of disappointment as I awoke each day, but it was a momentary thing. After a few days, I'd gotten used to putting my pants on, brushing my teeth in this fancy bathroom with its own plumbing. The absence of my lions moved like phantoms about the room as I communicated with the maids, waiting diligently outside to help take out old towels and bring us breakfast. Eventually, the nobles lowered their guards. The number of feet passing by the windows below and stationed at the end of the hallway decreased to the regular number of beaver guards. The carriages left, and the palace was still. Whatever they'd decided, it had been done peacefully. Well, no blood had been shed. I remained hyper-alert for a sudden attack, especially when I received the summons. After I'd snuck the overgrown kid into the room to watch over the sleeping girls while I was absent, I walked with 7 beavers rotating around me, all the way to the throne room. The king wasn't there, so I knelt. Was this how Bellant and Lione had felt? This discomfort in their knees, the rushing of blood to their heads. I waited for hours. It was a new day entirely by the time I heard the rustling of his draping cloak against the stone, like the slithering of a snake moving across the scrub. It was paltry, but I'd begun to read up on the history of the kingdom. The lines of text were dense, and I couldn't get very far without answering at least 700 questions by Lyra, Amber, or both at once. They only had questions, and I had nothing. My studying was slow going. Sometimes I did handstands to pay attention, reading a few lines at a time before pumping my arms and moving my body. I would have never have guessed so many words even existed, but I suspected some of them weren't even real. I could barely sound them out, and even then, they were nonsense. I knew a few days couldn't prepare me for the lifetime I'd spent without a care for how the kingdom got to be the way it was, how the nobles got to become such snakes, and what that said of the throne itself. The lizard thought I couldn't do this. He thought the nobles would eat me alive because I didn't know my respectful addresses and my salad spoons. I had no intention of learning about those things. That wasn't the game I was playing with my life as collateral. A foot soldier whose entire regiment was dead, labeled traitors for all of history to remember. What was I? A traitor? A fangless lion? A decrepit soldier? A disabled prodigy? A father? A caretaker? My lion, my last noble lion, the snake flattered. Same place, same tone, almost same words. Different reality. Oh, how you have suffered. Oh, how your noble spirit inspires us so. Please, my lion, rise. Rise so that we may look upon your face. The only man capable of protecting the future of this nation. I believe in you, my friend, my comrade. Rise, rise. Be not afraid, my child, my son, my light. I pulled myself to my feet, saluting. Yes, your majesty. Though a lion stalks their prey on silent, padding feet, when they lose their territory, their pride, they have been known to. I bowed with a solemn sweep. It is my honor to serve you, your majesty. I am eternally grateful for your benevolence. Facing the ground, my smile spread sharp, painful. The thing in my chest roared as I scraped the foul words from my throat. None of them understood. Not the lizard, not the snake on the throne, not any of the regiment commanders making their little plots to kill one measly girl. Not even Boss had understood. L for lion, Rory's sweet voice echoed in my head. I wish I had taken out those memories to enjoy them before they were doused in blood. But even through the red, I could still make out those freckles, those stars peeking at the edge of the horizon. Fangless, declawed, territory scavenged, pride extinct. Down for the count? Oh no. Be alone in a room with him, and trust me, you'll want to pummel his ass too. But you won't be able to because he's a beast, a true beast. The snake had forgotten what the boss had forgotten. The entire kingdom, so concerned about their thrones, their crystals, their power, thought they had everything under control. That they had everything figured out. But they don't. Can't they see? Since they've forgotten, it would only be right to remind them about us lions. Yeah, us lions, we fight back.